Good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News. I'm Shamela Pula and here's what we have in the bulletin. Jamaica Association of Chairmen of Secondary Institutions weighs in on St. James High School impasse. St. Catherine grapples with vector and rat infestation crisis. And later in sports Minister gives assurance that National Stadium will be available for March 13 match between Cavalier and Lionel Messi's Inter Miami. Now the details. We begin with a TVJ News follow-up. The Jamaica Association of Chairmen of Secondary Institutions has broken its silence on the ongoing standoff between the principal and board members at St. James High School. Mr. Winter highlights serious governance issues at the school that may require mediation. More in this report. A recent disagreement between the principal and board chairman of St. James High School led to disruptions at the institution and sparked a broader debate about the selection process for board chairmen and proposals for cluster boards. However, Courtney Winter, president of the Jamaica Association of Chairmen of Secondary Institutions, believes the issue runs deeper, pointing to serious governance issues at the school.
There may be personality and egoistic issues that is happening at St. James High. And we as JAXI would like to say to everyone involved that they need to put aside their personalities and put aside their ego so that we can improve the situation at St. James that will eventually redound to the benefit of the students.
Education Minister Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon, while acknowledging that under the current law there's not much the ministry can do, says the legislation is under review. Mr. Winter responded.
I think what the ministry could do in the power that it has is to facilitate perhaps a mediator or to take other decisions in terms of training to highlight the role of chairman as well as the role of the principal. But I'm yet to understand clearly what that means because I'm not so sure the ministry doesn't have that power.
As it relates to a proposal by former Education Minister Ronald Thwaites about cluster boards.
As a chairman myself, the work of a chairman for a school, I usually refer to it as a second job. And again, I spoke earlier about the education regulation and the responsibilities of a chairman. And so I'm not so sure how a cluster board would work because just to care for, if you're doing a good job, just to do a good job at one school takes up an enormous amount of time.
And the statement about school boards being politically appointed.
We have to remember that in some regions you may not have a sufficient pool to choose from in terms of chairman and board members. And so, like anyone else in the community, the MPs in their own right should be able to recommend. But the person that is recommended should have some basic skill set. Not all schools' chairmen are selected or recommended by MPs. As a president of JAXI, I have come across some excellent chairmen. I am not ready to say that MPs should be totally excluded from at least recommending chairmen for schools.
Mayor of Port Maria Fitzroy Wilson is making an appeal for residents to partner with the police to rid St. Mary of crime. At a recent town hall meeting in the parish, Mayor Wilson commended the work the police have been doing.
It is nothing less than commendable. And we've seen the energies and the efforts being placed in Orokobesa. I know Mr. Ward would have asked questions earlier on, but I have seen the presence of the police in different areas of St. Mary now than even before. We on behalf of the residents, Inspector Marsh, we're asking that the police get that resolve to even go above and beyond, because it's only with this that we will be guaranteed more peace and safety in our parish.
In the meantime, the police provided an update on the crime situation in the parish.
Since the start of 2025, we have recovered 7 illegal firearms, targeted raids, the cordon search. We have the curfews that are being imposed, and I must hasten to tell you that the curfew for Airy Hill, Mr. Smith, which should have ended this evening, it has been extended.
Local Government Minister Desmond McKenzie says the new building for the St. Thomas Municipal Corporation should be ready within months. Mr. McKenzie, who toured the facility recently, says significant progress has been made in having all members of staff under one roof.
The building is expected to house over some 140 members of staff from the municipal corporation, plus the political directorates and the various services, poor relief, building, roads and works, etc. All of that will be housed now in this beautiful building that the parish has been operating without for more than 15 or 20 years.
Mr. McKenzie also visited the St. Thomas Infirmary and Dropping Center, where he addressed concerns and offered solutions.
The survey that we have done, there is an increase in the street population, the homeless population here in St. Thomas, and it is important that we provide the facilities as best as we can. So this is a further improvement. 16 more beds, it means we'll be able to assist 16 more persons living on the streets.
Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says more is being done to cater to the demand of the population in Spanish Town, St. Catherine. Speaking at a recent sitting of the St. Catherine Chamber of Commerce, Dr. Tufton shared some of the progress made so far.
In the area of staff, in 2016, we had 223 nurses at Spanish Town Hospital, ranging from various categories. 2024, we have 489. I'm talking about everything from registered RNs to midwives and so on, the full category. So we have increased significantly the capacity of the nursing staff, 119%. In terms of medical doctors, in 2016, we had 223. In 2024, in 2016, we had 83 doctors. In 2024, we had 194.
Dr. Tufton also shared the government's program to develop health services in Spanish Town.
As you know, we have broken ground for a 7 billion Jamaican dollars now, not US. 7 billion Jamaican dollar project. It's the largest expansion that Spanish Town Hospital would have ever undertaken from its inception. And it's not a promise. Just peep over the wall if you are not unfortunate enough to have to visit as a patient. And you will see the foundation dug out, the steel is now being put in, and the concrete which have started pouring. And within a matter of months, you will see it evolving over the wall.
St. Catherine continues to grapple with a vector and rat infestation crisis. The Public Health Department has vowed to take swift action to fix the issues. Details in this report.
Vector control workers in St. Catherine have been hindered from performing their duties effectively due to a recent surge in violence in the area. This concern was highlighted at a recent Health and Sanitation Committee meeting. Councillor for the Spanish Town Division, Christopher Shackelford, noted that areas such as Todspen, De La Vega City, Marchpen Road, and other communities in Spanish Town have been severely impacted.
I have a quick question though for the officer through you.
Go ahead.
I note where you said that due to the unrest in Spanish Town, that you were unable to cover certain areas in terms of fogging, right? Is there, however, a planned time frame on which you plan to revisit or to go back to getting the fogging sorted out?
Chief Public Health Inspector for St. Catherine, Denise Douglas, has announced that the issue of vector control workers' safety will be addressed in March. However, another pressing concern has arisen: a surge in rodent infestations across the parish. Residents and business owners in areas such as the General Commercial District and Market District have been complaining about the growing rat problem, citing serious health implications.
The department know of the problem, and we plan to re-establish our meetings with the cooperation to tackle the solid waste problem in the parish. Unfortunately, an investigation was not done at that area in the town. A similar one would have been done, I believe, sometime in last year, to do an investigation and a surveillance to determine where the rodents are more active.
The issue is expected to be tackled promptly to mitigate a potential health crisis.
A plan of that nature usually would require several stakeholders to come together to implement it. So that is definitely something that we will look at. Usually when you have serious rodent problems and you dig deeper, there is usually a solid waste problem, and that is a part of
combination.
Right.
Anthony Atkinson, TVJ News.
It's time for a break. Stay with us. More stories when we return. Welcome back to the Midday News. Burn victim Adriana Leng is back in Jamaica as she continues treatment in the United States. Adriana also met another burn victim upon her return to the island Thursday. More in this report.
15-year-old Adriana Leng and 19-year-old Alicia King met for the first time at Sangster International Airport in Montego Bay, St. James. Both girls have undergone numerous corrective surgeries, with Leng having 28 procedures and King having 30.
Well, what is happening here today is a day of joy and happiness. We welcome back home Adriana Leng. And it was 2 weeks ago we welcomed home Alicia King. These are the two blessed, I don't even know what to say. They get a second chance of life. And they are back here. These are our two burn victims.
The two victims have pledged to stay in touch and provide moral support for each other as they navigate their new lifestyle.
I really feel the support from her to see someone that is in the same condition as me. She actually boosts my confidence, you know. Like, she wear clothes, she has that much confidence, she doesn't care what anybody say. I always see her in her live or TikTok and she's really happy, so she actually boosts my confidence to be the person that I am.
Leng's father Adrian expressed joy, encouraging both girls to keep pushing forward.
Sky's the limit, all right? Not because you have scars inside, you are beautiful, and God loves you. So let's keep on pushing.
I tell my daughter that all the time. I say, you're beautiful, God saved you for a reason. And you're strong. So I use my what we go through and help her.
Because we changed my daughter name, you know, from Pinky, we carry name Purpose Child. You know?
There are two young ladies who actually have the spirit of Phoenix. And Jamaica is we're just happy to show Jamaica that through determination and through love, their stories are not just about tragedy, but it's about hope, miracle, and love. And this is definitely a story of triumph for both young ladies.
Carrie Simpson, TVJ News.
It's now time for the Business Minute.
The government is reporting that it received 197 bids valued at $23.95 billion for the $12 billion it was seeking to raise from its 10-year 7.5% annum fixed benchmark investment note. The government, however, says it accepted only 91 bids amounting to $12 billion. The average yield for the successful bids was 6.32% per annum, while the lowest bid submitted was 6% per annum for $250 million, and the highest bid was 8.42% annum for $300 million. Further afield, The Internal Revenue Service has released its list of tax scams people should watch out for in 2025. Topping the list are phishing scams where fraudsters pose as legitimate organizations in the tax and financial community. Unsolicited text or emails sent to lure unsuspected victims into handing over their personal or financial information. Another growing concern involves incorrect tax information on social media. The IRS warns this can mislead people into bogus tax avoidance strategies and sometimes result in identity theft. While many of these scams occur throughout the year, they peak during filing season. And that's it for the Business Minute. I'm Carrie Ann Simpson.
Time now for the top regional and international stories.
In the region, UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres is urging quick international support for Haiti's security, highlighting the underfunded Kenya-led multinational security support (MSS) mission. He proposed a new initiative to boost the mission's effectiveness, including logistical aid and funding. Guterres stressed the need for both security and political solutions to restore order and allow elections in Haiti. On the international scene, several people were run over in central Israel in what police are investigating as a terrorist attack. 9 people were injured, 1 critically. The attacker, a Palestinian from Jenin, drove a vehicle into a bus stop, hitting the victims before crashing into a police vehicle. He was later shot by the police after attempting to use a screwdriver as a weapon. And those were the top regional and international stories. I'm Anthony Atkinson, TVJ News.
Don't go away, sports is next.